What is going on, guys? Matt O'Leary back with another video. Today I will be talking about the latest New York Jets news. It's a Matt O'Leary NY Jets news dump. We go through Robert Saleh's press conference, talking about the biggest storylines of the day. And let's get this thing rocking and rolling. We will first start with the newest and latest injury to the New York Jets offensive line. You didn't think they would be able to go through a game without an offensive line injury, did you? Shame, shame, shame. You should know better by now. Billy Turner supposedly suffered a hand injury.
So Chaz Surratt, he's not going to practice today. Today's going to be a walkthrough anyway, guys. Billy Turner, he's dealing with a hand, which popped up after the game, so he's not going to practice today. And then everyone else.
Now, Ian Rappaport is reporting that it's a broken hand, or that there's broken bones in the hand. So Billy Turner, obviously Robert Saleh didn't go into as much detail, but Billy Turner likely won't be playing against the Las Vegas Raiders. That's my takeaway from this, and I would never, ever, ever wish injury upon a player or person, but him not being in the lineup might not be a terrible thing. I wish him a speedy recovery. 10 pressures and a sack in his start at right tackle against the Los Angeles Chargers. 10 pressures. Good goodness gracious. Not ideal. So I would think, or what I would do anyway, but with this injury, Max Mitchell goes back to right tackle. Xavier Newman goes, or Roger Saffold goes to right guard. One of those guys, if Saffold can get up to speed, put him in there at guard. If not, then it'll be Newman or someone to that extent. Or maybe Dwayne Brown will be back. I guess it's possible. It feels like he's been week to week for the last couple weeks. So maybe this is finally the time that Dwayne Brown is back and ready to go. But they have a few options. So if Dwayne Brown is back, he or Mackay, probably Mackay, based on Robert Saleh's quotes, would go to right tackle, Dwayne at left, and maybe they keep Max Mitchell at right guard if there's an injury, right? If there's this Billy Turner injury in play. So, moral of the story is expect the offensive line shuffle to continue. Robert Saleh also spoke on Alan Lazard's struggles.
You assess how Alan Lazard's played this year.
Alan, he's had some ups and downs. He knows that. He and I had a great talk. I love his mindset. I love the way he approaches every day. I love the way he approaches his work week. Are things going the way he wants? On occasion, yeah. I know he wants more, and he wants more for himself. But the good thing about Alan, he works as hard as anybody, and I know he's going to get through this. It's no different. You could be slumping, and sometimes as a player you start pressing and you start trying to swing for the fences, and I said it before. The reality is he just needs to focus on putting the bat on the ball and putting the ball in play and playing and going from there. Just from an analogy standpoint, but just continue to focus on doing the best he can and take the plays that are given to him and be great at what he's being asked to do, but. He'll come around. He's got the right mindset, so I'm not overly concerned about the direction he's going.
Ups and downs is putting it nicely. He had a horrible game against the Las Vegas Raiders. Drops, penalties, really bad showing, and I'm bummed about it. I liked Alan Lazard signing. I really did, but I thought of him more as a wide receiver 2-3 option, and now he's like the sole 2, and it's not going well. The drops are rearing its ugly head. They need more at the wide receiver position. And his drops and mistakes really since the Philly game have been so noticeable. He had a couple nice moments in the first, maybe 4 games of the year? 5 games of the year, maybe. He had a big catch against the Giants at the end. Okay, I understand that, but has to be better. He knows it. Robert Saleh knows it. Everybody knows it. That you can't stress enough just how poor, unfortunately, again, how poor of a job Alan Lazard has done recently. So there were also some rumors about there being some sort of mandate on Robert Saleh, which was honestly kind of my takeaway with the quotes that he said to the Michael Kay show, where he's like, I'm going to plead the fifth. So he was asked about it, and Robert Saleh said there isn't a mandate from Jets ownership to keep Wilson in the lineup, said we're all on the same page, which makes that interview that much more bizarre than on the Michael Kay show. It just sounded like he wasn't ready for that question or to have the conversation about potentially playing Trevor Siemian over Zach Wilson. And, he did his thing where he talks about the Jets being able to move the ball and, they're close. And I understand that. This is Robert Saleh we're talking about. He's not throwing anybody under the bus. The Jets have, in the past, specifically last year, benched Zach Wilson. They did it for Mike White. And while they were still, unfortunately, losing games, it's been pretty well documented over the last 2 years. Again, not just feel or opinion, but statistically, the comparison of when Zach Wilson is in passing for the Jets versus another quarterback, Mike White, Joe Flacco, Josh Johnson, is a significant difference. And like I said, the numbers are there. It's not a feels like or I think. It's, hey, this is just the information, relaying the information there. So I hope it changes for the better, because they are clearly not going to make a change at the starting quarterback spot for this week. So I hope, again, I'm just going to keep going into each game, hoping that we get a version of Zach Wilson that is much closer to the Kansas City Chiefs version, because the last few weeks they have just not been able to get the ball in the end zone. 8 touchdowns in 8 games, 3 in their last 4 games. If you want to go back over Zach Wilson's last 11 starts, 10 touchdowns, it's bad. It's really bad right now. Interesting, like kind of a little bit of a pivot here on this last conversation topic that I wanted to get into. Robert Saleh on Quinnen Williams. So Quinnen Williams only has half a sack this year. And those who just, watch, look for the box score and aren't, watching week in and week out might go, well, he paid and disappeared. Not really the case. It really isn't the case. I liked Robert Saleh's quote where he says, I think the sack production is very overrated. It's not an indicative stat. When you look at Quinnen, teams are going out of their way to game plan Quinnen to try to take him out of the game, but he's still absolutely wrecking run games. And then he pointed out that he's top 5 in pressure rate and talked about his PFF grades. So he is still getting a ton of pressure. He is opening things up for other guys. Like if the Jets just in general weren't sacking the quarterback, then it's a little bit of a different story. If he didn't rank extremely high in the pressures department, that would be a different story. Again, sacks are nice. I love sacks. That's a good thing, but it doesn't tell the full story. It doesn't. It doesn't show you how efficient you are at getting after the quarterback. You can still be disruptive by creating pressures and quarterback hits and, all these things, really, rushes, all that. It's not just, hey, did he sack the quarterback or not? There's ways to impact the game in addition to just sacks. So just wanted to point that one out because I agree with him. I think Quinnen Williams has been awesome this year. And this Jets defensive line and defense in general has been awesome. They just need the offense to catch up. And I hope that it does. Let me know your thoughts on the latest Jets news down in the comments below. Once again, I'm Matt O'Leary, and I'll catch you next time.